No, did you guys see this? Yeah, apparently the planet is spinning way too fast. I mean, how are we supposed to do? Oh, wait, no. Now it's been slowing for 50 years. Well, how are we supposed to get the planet to spin correctly? Do we just pay more in taxes? Because that's how we fix climate change, right?
I got $15,000 right here. Anybody that wants to prove to me that the earth is not flat and it's actually round, I will hand you this money in person in front of the whole world to see. We'll even live stream it, okay? Because right now, there's the sun and there's the moon. How are they both in the sky at the same time? Oh, you don't believe me? Hold on. All right, look right here. Look. Somebody explain. Look, boom. There's the moon and there's the sun. There's no arguing it whatsoever, dude, but I will hand deliver this paper right here. No joke. I will bring it to you if you can prove to me that we're on a ball spinning, going crazy all through the galaxies and the universes and all that stuff. Okay? So while y'all are thinking about it, just take a look. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Take a look while y'all are thinking about it now. I want y'all to really, really think hard, okay? Alright, we'll be waiting.
Have you ever seen a real star? And no, I'm not talking about the CGI and extremely sus images that they show us in the textbooks. And no, I'm also not talking about the CGI videos in these space documentaries of giant combusting balls of gas and fire. I'm talking about a real star. Have you ever stopped and looked at a real star? Now, you can see a real star with your naked eye. You can see it changing color and oscillating. But if you take a nice camera and zoom in and get greater detail, you will definitely know for a fact that all of the stars that they show us in these space documentaries are a bunch of baloney. But why would they lie? Why would they tell us that these stars are extremely far away and in the empty void of outer space and they're all so much bigger than Earth? Why would they tell us that? Well, it's to hide the truth from us. The truth that this creation was no mistake. And we are trapped. The only physical universe that actually exists is Earth. And everything outside of it is just a bunch of baloney. The spirit realm. It's definitely not outer space.
Now guys, I found it kind of interesting that the United Nations logo, the International Maritime Organization, the International Civil Aviation Organization, and the World Health Organization all depict a flat earth map. Now ask yourself, wouldn't it be more accurate to have a logo like this right here if we indeed lived on a globe? But instead we have a flat earth map and all of these logos, like... Also, something else I found very interesting and must be a coincidence that in the George W. Bush Airport, they have a flat earth map, a tree of life in the middle, and the dome over the top. Like, coincidence, right?
What's up, everybody? Flat Earth Surfer here. This comment, which I've had many of them, says, "Can you please provide footage or a picture of the full flat Earth?" For some reason, there's a bunch of, people in the world who seem to think that it's possible to take an image of the entire Earth. Why do they think that? Because they've been programmed into believing that it's possible because they've been showed images of the Earth in one image, and they fail to understand that that image is not real. Taking a picture of the entire Earth is impossible. Earth is flat.
Does the Bible teach and say that the Earth is flat? Well, that just may depend on your translation as well as your understanding of the original language and the figurative language of Scripture. And so here I am with the convicted, proclaimed to be heretic William Tyndale's 1537 edition Bible, and it says that translators commonly face persecution, imprisonment, and even, as in the case of the two men associated with the Matthew's Bible, execution. So my very own copy, inherited from my late father, 2 Samuel. Here it is, Flat Earth, chapter 11. Notice how it didn't say globe Earth.
If you get triggered easy, this is not going to be the video for you. This fine piece of machinery cost $38 million. With some busted up beach chairs, PVC piping, some wires. This is just sad. Are you kidding me? Now we're going to put it into perspective what other cars are worth. So this is $38 million. But this guy down here, the Bugatti, it's $19 million. The Rolls Royce, $28. And this one down here. That's a lot of money. See the difference between these three right here and this up here? One of these things is not like the others. I don't have time to sit over here and sugarcoat things, so if you get your feelings hurt, I don't care.
Would you believe me if I told you that we've been lied to about the entire model of our universe? From birth, we've been indoctrinated and told that the Earth is a giant spinning ball in outer space. But have you ever stopped and thought, how is water always finding and seeking level, no matter what container you put it in? No matter how large the container is, water always finds and seeks level, and it's called sea level, not sea curve. So when you're looking out onto the visual horizon, you're not seeing curvature, no matter how high you go. Architects, engineers, they never account for curvature. In fact, they use lasers across large bodies of water to determine how to build from there. The Golden Gate Bridge would collapse because they did not account for curvature when they built it. And all you have to do is, when you see a sunset and the sun setting behind the horizon, zoom in on it with a nice camera. Oh, there's the sun again. That would be impossible on a globe model. Even from an airplane at 37,000 feet, there's still no curvature. Is the Earth too big to see the curvature? Or are we being lied to?
My Nikon P1000, 93 million miles away. Y'all check this out. Looky there. Huh. Pretty neat how a simple camera can zoom in this far on the sun. What y'all are going to say is, oh, well, it's just so big you can never understand. Dude, 93 million miles away. Hey, that's... Bruh, look at that. I mean, if that's... Okay, so... Anyways, yeah, y'all get the point. Looks really cool, don't it? Check it out. Dang. Looks like something under a microscope, don't it? That's that laser Nikon P1000 right there, son. Whoa, whoa.
If the Earth is round, spherical, a globe, then why is it so flat and stationary? Perfectly flat and stationary with our local sun, the light of the world, shining bright down on all of us. Why are there so many people who think that it's possible to get a picture or video or live stream of the entire flat Earth? Because of this image of what they think is the world. They've been shown this image millions of times throughout their lives, and they've been brainwashed into believing that this is real when it's not. It's either Photoshop, CGI, artist rendering, AI. It's not reality. This is not reality. The world is not a ball. It's observably flat. Flat is fact. The world is flat.
All right, today we are going to talk about flight dynamics. This is a introduction class. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready. So, in this summary, we examine the flight dynamics of aircraft. But before we do that, we must examine some basic ideas necessary to explore the secrets of flight dynamics. I wonder what those secrets are. Well, if we scroll down just a little bit, we have to make assumptions. Airplanes assume a flat Earth. They don't assume a curved Earth. Earth's curvature is 0. There is a non-rotating Earth. No Coriolis accelerations and such are present, so there's no assumptions of a rotating Earth. Huh, that's interesting. Go over to Google. Do airplanes adjust their attitude for curvature? No, airplanes do not actively adjust their attitude to compensate for the Earth's curve. So we can look here. This is a airplane graph. This is what airplanes record during their flight. We can see here the pitch of the airplane for a 2-hour flight from Honolulu, Hawaii. It remained at a pitch 2 degrees above level. Level is at 0 right here, this line that I'm going across. It flew at 2 to 3 degrees above 0. And it flew level the entire 2 hours that it flew. That's over 1,000 miles. When it first took off, it had to increase up drastically, and then it leveled out. And then once when it found its level, it maintained it all the way for 2 hours. So putting this together real quick, we can see that we have a airplane flight simulator for 3rd graders. So they do not adjust the nose. They do not adjust the pitch whatsoever. So if we were to go around a ball, it would look like this if they don't adjust for curvature. This is very important. Going around a curved surface, you must compensate for the curve. It would look like this. So, since they don't do that in real life, they just fly like this, that would be an invalid scenario, which means the globe is debunked. If you're complaining that that's not to scale, we can scale this down to an actual sized craft. This craft is now 100 feet long. It is very tiny. At 950 feet away from this airplane, from this little white dot right here, there's a drop of 0.26 inches. At 1900 feet away from that airplane, there's a drop of 1.04 inches. This drastically gets bigger and bigger as we see here. This is the tangent line that we drew. This is Earth's curve going down and away from us. We can see here that at 100 miles out, there's a 6,668 foot drop of curvature that airplanes would need to compensate for, along with the pitch, the attitude. And so airplanes don't adjust for that. So we can actually test that here. We're gonna start a flight. Let's go ahead and increase our scale so we can actually see what we're doing here. And so from this airplane, this is 5 miles out. This is 10 miles out. But it's just gonna fly. We're gonna accelerate our time here. No one wants to wait. Actually, I'm gonna explain a few things here. So this airplane is flying at 500 miles per hour. The next 69 mile, which is 1 degree marker, is in 4 minutes. It's already traveled 5 minutes and 40 seconds. I accelerated it for a little bit of time. I actually took it back off just so I can show you what this is. The pitch of the airplane is at 2 degrees nose pitched up. My attitude indicator works over there as well. It's been initialized. It locked its tangent in. Gyroscopes keep their rigidity in space. And so it's already traveled about 39 miles right now. at 2 degrees nose pitched up, you can see the altitude is just consistently climbing. And so we're gonna go ahead and accelerate the time here. We're gonna maintain our throttle, because that's all they do, is they maintain their altitude. That's all pilots will ever tell you what they do. They just maintain their altitude. So we're gonna maintain around 30,000 feet altitude. We're gonna watch the airplane. Just gonna be flying here over a curved surface. And I'm gonna maintain my altitude. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention there for a second. Okay, about 30,000 feet. And this is to scale, but minus the airplane being a little bit big for visibility purposes. I gotta maintain my altitude again. Man, my throttle is just getting less and less because this curve is getting more and more. And so, as we can see here, as this goes around a circumference of 24,901, it's going to have to nose pitch. It's gonna have to adjust its nose. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Airplanes, and if I do, I did actually, my bad. And so if I do, the attitude indicator will indicate that. And then it will be put up onto this graph saying, hey, it adjusted. But we don't have that. So as we fly here, oh wow, I'm just consistently flying off into space here. Wow. Let me try to lower my altitude. I was 30 miles in the sky there. Holy moly. Okay, so I'm lowering my altitude. This is pointing to the center of the Earth. I can change that as well with the other white lines if needed. I can also change my reference frame if we want to look at the Earth as the reference frame versus the airplane. The airplane is now looking really funny here. It's still at a 2 degrees nose pitched up. I can't fight gravity anymore, so it's just now flying off into space. That sucks. And we're not even 2,300 miles, 2,400 miles almost. I'm just flying off into space. I can't do anything anymore. It bypassed gravity and it's just going off. Globe debunked.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.